Go ahead, Bato, everyone. If you have been following us, you notice that essentially the rebound in the real estate investment trust market was something that we had predicted. In fact, when we were interviewed in the Business Times on 20th of October 2022, this is what I said, right? That is actually, we are finally getting into a situation where there's blood on the streets valuations of real estate investment trusts. And that's good for investors and traders because that you buy when there's blood on the streets. And what happened? Look at the chart again. Yes, 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 ladies and gentlemen. On the next day, that's Friday, 21st October 2022, that's where the FTSE REIT index hit the lowest ever, down at 663. And as of today's close, essentially, it's up to 788, or almost a 20% jump in 4 months. In today's video, we are going to examine essentially what lies ahead now that the market has corrections through to our. Well, before that, thanks for a lot of emails that have actually come through to GCP Global email. Because I think some of you have missed our recording. And just wondering what we've been doing because we have been posting in the last few weeks. The truism is this: if you made great money on real estate investment trust, as what we have guided you, then just sit back and relax and enjoy the dividend that's pouring in now. Enjoy the capital gains that you're actually pouring in now compared to your buy prices as of October and the November lows of last year when we first guided you into the market. Essentially, you can see that essentially in the same Business Times interview, we have highlighted a few things. One is that this was the longest ever correction, down 24% last year when it went down to the lows of October 2022, and therefore ripe for a rebound. Now you're going ahead, you are and will be expected to be asking, will the rebound last? And how far and to what extent will the rebound be?
In real estate investment trust, as you saw in 2022, notwithstanding the Asian financial crisis between 2007 to 2009, as well as the COVID pandemic in 2002, which you saw REITs corrected by more than 50%. Last year's correction was 24%.
We will bring you our first class of the year. That's the first REIT investment class. This is our 34th year of teaching. This is scheduled for 25th of February. So do sign on the class, catch your early bird special, because in the class we're going to discuss one, how long and to what extent the rebound will be. Two, how does this rebound in real estate investment trusts compare to the last few corrections? As a matter of fact, in the last 20 years of Singapore REIT market, this is the 11th rebound. So at what level will the rebound peter out? Okay, and which are the stocks that will continue to power ahead? Now, it's crucial to have the right stocks in your portfolio, and that's why we are discussing this in our class. So tell us, Gabriel, why is it so important to have the right REITs in your portfolio, right? Because what we understand is that from your past articles as well as interviews, as you can see, it's crucial to have the right portfolio mix in your portfolio at any moment in time.
Are concerned. Experts say deep declines could be followed by sharp turnarounds.
The mean average forecast for this year in terms of peak or ultimate interest rates is at 5.1%. Now, if that level holds, then I think real estate investment trusts would probably bottom out this year. If not, they have already started the bottoming process as of October lows that we saw last year. Because the balance sheet is conservatively managed, they are actually in a position to capture the upside when the REITs actually make a U-turn.
Yes, that's right. It is crucial to have the right REITs in your portfolio at any moment in time, because having the wrong REITs in your portfolio, as you can see, these are actually the four REITs where you see that essentially while the REIT market has rebounded by 20%, most of the Class A REITs have rebounded almost close to 30%. These few REITs essentially have hardly recovered at all. And who are they? Okay, now the first one is actually EC World REIT, which is actually down 1 cent as of end of January compared to its October lows. Then you have Manulife REIT, which we have written and talked about a lot. They are basically flat. So can you imagine the opportunity cost? Gabriel, how is it that you're able to actually pick out the top three of the top five REITs so accurately in your classes and therefore shared with your investor students, and therefore they were able to catch onto the REITs? Now, what we do at GCP Global, ladies and gentlemen, for the last 33 years now is actually we do study the REITs thoroughly. We do detailed analysis, then we check out the facts. Then we meet up with the respective CEOs of the REITs because we understand from their way of answering our questions. Now, not that they are going to give us anything new, but from the way, from the tone that they use in actually answering our questions, it gives us a very good gauge how capable the management of the REIT is. So from our old-fashioned way of doing research, you notice that now in the um, uh, first uh, first photograph that's actually on the left downside. You see that we met with Mr. Vincent Yeo, the CEO of CDL Hotel Trust, the first and the top performing REIT. Now on the right side is actually Miss Antia Lee. She's the CEO of Capital DC REIT, the second best performing REIT, as in the table that we have just shown. And then this is actually Mr. Tan Zhui, which is the CEO of Capital Land China Trust, which is the third performing REIT CEO. We notice that we catch up with these CEOs, verify our facts, understand the trends that's actually looking ahead, and therefore we share this in our investment classes with our investor students. And that's how you actually get real value added information that's verified and checked by us, that we share in our investment classes. So hope you will like to know which are the REITs that continue to outperform for the rest of this year and in this rebound, and to stay away from which are the bad REITs. Do join us for our class on 25th of February. Do sign up now because you enjoyed the early bird special. I understand, Gabriel, that you're really busy because you had a lot of interviews in the various media, including Money Mine, which was just played. And yes, you caught the REITs in the right course. In fact, what are the publications, what other research that investors can look at?
Some underperformance in real estate. Like any renaissance, it comes with a boom, but at the end, where it finally ends and how long it will last would be you and my best guess. But one thing for sure is that this trend that has been put in place, the dynamism is very much in place that will drive Singapore. So Singapore is going to be more costly to live. Unfortunately, it's all driven by this huge new money.
You can see, ladies and gentlemen, if we go to the GCP Global website, where we have archived the last 34 years of our investment research, which we publish every month, you will notice that essentially in January, we have already called for the fact that the headwinds in real estate investment trusts that you saw through the whole of last year will become tailwinds, meaning that they are all fired up to fire up, which is basically what they have done since the beginning of the year. So this is exactly the kind of real estate investment trust investing and trading that we excel in. And our track record speaks out loud and clear. Of course, this is the other interview that I gave way back in 2009 after I made my money, in the global financial crisis. Now the trades are picking up right timing, as I've highlighted in our article. If I may just read it out, is that right timing is a concept that a lot of so-called market experts and analysts have proffered as very difficult and impossible. Well, after all, by definition, if you want to earn outsized returns at GCP Global, that no one is able to earn, then you have to do things that others will not do or are too lazy to do, at the right timing. So at GCP Global, for the last 33 years, we have studiously, continuously hold our real estate investment class every quarterly to update you on the turning points, the linchpins, and how fast and to what extent the rally will go. So that's what we're special in. And the next slide also show you that one of the key things and a concept that we focus on is because when we look at real estate investment trust, we look at the return on invested capital and the EV/EBITDA ratios, where the turning points actually indicate relative valuations, which actually help us to trade out two parallel stocks, for example. So once again, to get further in depth to our stock picks for a REIT picks for the rest of this year, do join us for our class on 25th and join us again for our next week's video. Once again, Happy New Year, everyone, and enjoy the profits that you, while you have listened to us, you will be making and letting it run and smiling and very happy again. Cheers.